All right, so I just picked up this RV a couple weeks ago. Was towing it home with the 3rd gen, and it was having overheating problems. Not so much overheating, but the temperature would spike. So it was like going like 225, and then once it was like off the hill or whatever, driving flat up to highway speed, it would, you know, drop back down. But it was definitely going up, and I couldn't hear the cooling fan come on at all. So I spent a bunch of time looking online and then trying to figure out the wiring schematics on it, and it was kind of all over the map. So I'll show you what I ended up doing and how the testing went on it and what I found anyways, because info I found online was like, well, you pin these and it'll give an ohm reading. Well, mine were all over the map, and I'll kind of show you here. So I got a bunch of fans here. I got a small auto wrecker, so I actually had a parts truck that I had a fan off. This is off an 06. And here's the wiring here. So the weird thing was, like the diagrams I found online for the wiring diagrams, the colors do not match the pins on it. And the wiring on the truck is different colors than this and still different colors than that. So I don't know. But anyway, so I kind of thought in my head, well, I'll find the power and the ground and manually test these on the bench. So what I ended up doing was I got a bunch of 6-liter ones. And I mean, I got tons of these, so I thought I'd sacrifice one of these in case it was wrong. So I wired up the ground, the power, and it would kick in, but it would actually make it go looser, like you could freewheel it real easy. So I don't know if it's something to do with, you know, the engine speed, and when it turns in that it has to be the engine speed going fast enough to start to get it to work. I don't know how these exactly work. I know it's supposed to be like a viscous coupler or something, but maybe it needs proper speed to run because it didn't seem to work when I tested it. But they say to jump the pins 1 and 6. So 1 is going to be the green and 6 is going to be this red here. If you do an ohm test on it, it's supposed to be between 6 and 8 or 6 and 10 ohms. So that one that I had in the back, it didn't work, didn't have any ohm reading. And the one in the truck, here I got it up in the lift, it was ohming out at like 55 ohms, you know, when it was hot. Just sitting in the driveway. So I ran it in, put it up on the lift, went and had lunch, cooled off. I came back out to test it and it had 0. So I don't know what was going on. I kind of figured I had a dead clutch fan, but usually if I've got 2 and they're both dead, you know, by testing it, then something's, you know, it's pretty rare to have two dead things, right? That's at least what I found. So here's what I did to get it going. So on a 6 liters, they do that blue wire mod. So you find on the wiring harness coming from the engine, they toggle in and put a ground on it so you can turn the fan on and off manually. And when the switch is turned off, it'll still run like the normal truck would, right? So I thought, well, it's the same what are these, Vistronic or, yeah, Vistronic clutch fans. They're literally almost identical. The same wiring, 5-wire wiring colors and everything as the Dodge. So this green wire, as I was saying, on the Ford truck, it connects to a blue. And that's the blue wire mod that you ground this to the ECM terminal that'll turn it on and off. So I don't know what this was all about, but you got 1 pin that doesn't have a wire in it. So this is number 1 pin, this light green. That's the ground, switched ground that comes from the PCM. Then you got this black wire here. That's a grounded all the time. Okay. And then this white wire here, that's the speed wire for the signal that tells the computer what the fan's doing. And then you got the spot where there's no wire. And then this orange here, that's the reference voltage now that the computer sent. That's a 5-volt reference voltage, okay? And then this red here, that's the key on 12 volt. So if you're testing your truck, you want to test your truck, turn the key on, unplug this from underneath the truck, and then I'll show you under here, okay? You unplug this guy here, and then you test the harness on the engine side, not the fan side, the engine side with the key on. All right, pin those out and make sure you got a ground, that you got the 5-volt reference, and that you got the 12-volt. So next, as you can see what I did on there, I just teed in with just a little splice crimp there into that light green wire, and then ran that green wire, or an extra green wire, up to the top. Okay, that's the guy you're gonna wanna grab. Okay, so I got my green wire here running up. That's teed in down on that fan connector. And all he did here, now this is just the test setup. I'll show you at the end of this what I'm gonna do to wire it in so that I got an illuminated switch to turn it on and off, okay? But that's just an on-off switch that I could run a test and to the battery ground. So I'll show you right now. I'll run a clip of testing it and show you on the scanner the fan turning on and off. And you'll see it's got a bit of a delay to get the fan spinning, and not too bad of a delay to shut it off. So I'll put that in right now, and then we'll go to wiring in a relay. All right, we got the throttle pinned down there, and we got her idling her up. We got our data going, our fan. I just had the fan running, so it's a little high, 500. Here's our test switch for the battery ground. We'll click it on. Here's the fan coming on. It is delayed a bit. And here's the RPM picking up on the fan. About 200 RPM, 150 RPM less than the engine. Will we kill it? And you can hear approximately how long it takes. It's only a few seconds for it to unload. And the fan speed's coming back down. We're gonna shut the truck down now. All right, so now we got that working. We're gonna go hunting for a relay. I usually got lots of electrical crap stored around here somewhere. All right, we'll use a Ford one, because why not use some quality Ford parts in your Dodge, right? We'll just make the end. So grab this. Now, obviously, if you know how to wire a relay, you're good to go, but I'll show you here. Go in here. Grab some connectors. I gotta call Sierra here. She's at Lordco right now. Get some heat shrink. Okay, Sierra's grabbing her heat shrink. Next, we'll go grab ourselves some wire. I'm a pack rat hoarder, so I'll go get wiring harness here. So there we go. We'll fish a few different colors out of this, and we'll get started. Okay, we got some wire pulled out of that mess. Should do the trick for us. Got our heat shrink here now. So I'm gonna go over the wiring on this. Again, this is basic here for people that maybe haven't been messing with any of this and wanna figure it out, okay? So on the side of our relay, you got pin 86 and 85. That's gonna be basically to the little exciter coil. So we're gonna ground 86, and we're gonna add the power from our switch in the cab. The power feed that'll turn this on will go to 85. It doesn't matter, you can go either way on that. And then 87 and 30. So we're gonna take 30, put it to a ground, to a chassis ground, and then connect our ground feed to the fan to 87. On the bottom, I don't know if you can see or not, but each tab, the little prong, has a number on it. So I'll set this up in time lapse, wire this up, and then we'll bench test it and show you how to go. Okay, we'll solder up and hit this. Okay, so just soldering and heat shrinking all the connectors. I also soldered, took that splice off the fan that I put on the green for testing, and soldered that connection as well. Now we should be able to put our tester here, our multimeter, and when it turns on, it should give us a ground signal, make a beep saying that it's giving a ground output. That'll be where our fan wire connects. There we go. So we got a light that'll come on to tell us that it's working in the truck, and still be giving our ground to our clutch fan. All right, I'll go wire this in the truck. So we have a ground right here on the terminal of the battery running up to here. and it has an extra wire right there that's connected on the same terminal, and it's just a jumper, okay, over to the other side. So what that's gonna do is we'd have a ground running in on pin 30, and it is teed in to pin 86. Pin 87 is gonna be the feed to the fan that we spliced in on the bottom of the fan connector on that green wire, okay? And then the positive wire coming from our switch inside the truck. So when we turn our switch on, it's going to put a power feed to pin 85. That'll excite the coil and close the contact between 30 and 87, giving the ground signal to the fan. So on this relay, the only power wire going into that relay is that guy right there. The other two are grounds, and the other one here is going to our fan. Okay, we're cruising down the road here. I'll with the switch, I'll tell you when I hit it. You can watch the data, see what it does here. Switch turned on. Give you an idea of delays and whatnot. Okay, now I'm going to kill the switch here. 1, 2, 3. Killed it. See how long it takes to turn off. Down to idle there. So anyways, works out good. Got the switch down here in the corner to turn it on and off. Okay, till the next time.